It was 2:47 a.m. when my phone lit up. A message from my husband. "I'm at Claire's house. Pick me up or it's over." For a second, I just stared at the glow of his name on my screen. The irony of it all. I didn't text back in anger. I didn't cry. I typed 6 words instead. "It's over then." Then I opened the location pin he'd attached, a small act of arrogance, a breadcrumb of guilt, and forwarded it to Claire's husband. By morning, my ex stood on my doorstep, teary, desperate, homeless. And I realized something I never expected to. Peace tastes better than revenge. But peace was never my first instinct. We met 8 years ago, at a wedding, fittingly. He was the groomsman who stole the microphone, who made everyone laugh until tears ran. I was the quiet one in the corner, sipping wine and reading the world through people's eyes. He said he liked that about me, that I saw things. He should have remembered that later. In the beginning, he was the kind of man who left notes in lunchboxes, who texted good morning and meant it. We built a rhythm, him dreaming, me grounding. It worked, until it didn't. I started noticing the silence first. Not the absence of sound, but the absence of us. He'd come home late, smelling faintly of perfume I didn't wear. He laughed differently when he texted, short, private bursts of amusement I wasn't invited into. When I asked, he smiled that practiced, disarming smile. "You're imagining things, babe." Maybe I was. Until one night, his phone buzzed on the counter while he showered. A name flashed across the screen, Claire. Her message was simple. "Same time tomorrow?" I didn't open it. I didn't need to. The pieces had already arranged themselves in my mind. A pattern of evenings, excuses, half-truths dressed as logic. I remember standing there, my hand on the phone, feeling my heart tighten. Not with grief, but with clarity. I understood then some truths you don't confront. You build around them. You weaponize them. I didn't scream, didn't accuse, didn't beg. Instead, I observed. Quietly, methodically. I started collecting things, digital crumbs, screenshots, receipts. Every lie left a trace. He wasn't careful. People in love rarely are. People in lust, even less. I noticed the restaurant charges, the duplicate Uber rides, the sudden gym memberships. I smiled at every alibi he fed me, knowing how the story would end long before he did. Then I started to move pieces, subtly. I transferred my share of the joint account into my personal one, quietly restructured my investments, consulted a lawyer under the guise of a friend's situation. When the confrontation came, and it always comes, I wanted to be ready. But fate gave me a better scene than I could have written myself. That text at 2:47 a.m. His arrogance delivered me the final act on a silver tray. When I forwarded his location to Claire's husband, I knew what would happen. I knew the man, calm on the surface, the kind who holds a grudge like a blade pressed under the tongue. He arrived there before I could even turn off my lamp. I didn't need to imagine the scene. I'd already seen it in my head. The shock, the scrambling, the unraveling. By sunrise, their secret burned in the open. Their home split, their reputations bleeding on social media's stage. And he came to me, standing on my porch, clothes wrinkled, eyes hollow. "I made a mistake," he said, voice cracking. I watched him, my hand steady on the mug of coffee I'd been sipping before he knocked. "No," I said softly, "you made a choice." He cried then, not for me, but for himself, for the life he thought he could rebuild from the ashes of mine. Here's the thing about revenge. It's addictive in theory, corrosive in practice. I expected satisfaction, a surge of justice when he fell. But what I felt instead was quiet, not emptiness, just silence. He begged to come back, said Claire's husband kicked her out, that she was unstable, that he'd realized I was the one he truly loved. I listened. Every word a performance he didn't know was being judged. I didn't yell, I didn't remind him of the screenshots, or the receipts, or the messages still saved in a folder labeled Mercy. I simply stepped aside and let him look into the house he used to call home. The photos gone, the drawers empty, the warmth replaced by order. "You should go," I told him. "There's nothing left here for you." He left his suitcase on the porch. I didn't move it for 3 days. People always imagine revenge as fire, burning, consuming, wild. Mine was water, still, patient, relentless. I didn't need to destroy him. I just had to let him face himself. Weeks passed. Friends took sides. Gossip spread. Sympathy poured in like pity disguised as concern. I kept my distance from it all. Went back to my routines, morning jogs, black coffee, silence over chaos. But at night, sometimes, I'd replay it. That moment at 2:47 a.m., when his message came through. That flash of power in my chest. Not anger, not pain, just clarity.